that sets the lowest rate amount of wage that an employer can pay to the employees, obviously covered by some sort of legislation. Minimum wages are very important in the global economy because they say how the people's quality of life in that country is. Unfortunately, the global economic crisis has had a very strong impact in the minimum wage nowadays, with many workers seeing little or even no changes at all in their earnings. So that's why in recent years, people have taken into account the needs of workers as well as the economic factors of the country. That's why we as a United Nations Human Rights Council, we should take into account these needs. And also one proposed solution that we have is that minimum wage is set correctly and operated effectively so that low-paid workers will benefit from them, and also that inequality is reduced. Also that aggregate demand is supported by low-paid workers, and that's it.
Okay. Yeah? Okay, the first thing to be known is that adopting minimum wage policies is the most viable way for reducing the working poverty and also providing social protection for vulnerable employees. It is known that the minimum wage is the basic labor standard that state an employer that can pay to its employers that are covered by the legislation. It is important to take into consideration the rights and the needs and the rights of the employers, and also the economic factors. These economic factors include the levels of productivity, the development requirement for economic factors, and also the need of increase the high level of the employers. Nowadays, 90% of the countries have a type of minimum wage, but there are some difference between these countries. There are some countries such as New Zealand, France, and Germany that have already set a unification for all the country, but there are other countries like China, Japan, and the USA in which this minimum wage depends on the region, state, or even the industry. The most important thing to say here is if these countries are taking into consideration the rights of the employers, and also you need to take into consideration the advantage of or disadvantage that this minimum wage unification will provide to your country.